Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Andy Kirkpatrick. This is video 3 of my 6 video series. This is educational learning theories. You ever wonder why school is run the way it is, or why different teachers have different teaching styles? This might help you out a lot. In psychology, philosophy, and education, there are 3 main learning theories: behaviorism, cognitivism, and constructivism. Behaviorism is the old school attitude of the kids don't know anything, they are empty vessels, and we as the adults fill them with knowledge, and they go away smarter than what they came in. Okay, this is the military. If any of you, unlike myself, if you've ever been in the military, they break you down. It's not about you, it's about the group mentality. No one gets left behind. Um, it's about the hierarchy. There's you, then your superior officer, then their superior officer. There's a chain of command. So the student, the teacher, the principal, and superintendent. And we're somewhere on there, I'm not sure where. But overall, it's very rigid. This is rewards and punishments. If you get a bad grade, you might, if you keep getting bad grades, you might have to be held back, okay, or fail. Um, so that's a punishment. A reward is if you do well, if you get a certain grade for a certain number of times in elementary school, you might be allowed to have lunch with your teacher. Okay, so that's a thing. So basically, punishment and rewards are used as motivators. Cognitivism is the second theory, and this is a lot. This has a lot to do with the brain, and I call it the split brain theory. Okay, we have the left brain, which is focused on analytical things, math, science, uh, just the facts kind of thing. And we have the right side of the brain, which is more creative, which I am not. Okay, the right side of the brain is focused on art, music, poetry, all that creative stuff that I just cannot do. Uh, so that's basically cognitivism in a nutshell. Constructivism arose out of cognitivism as a reaction against behaviorism. Constructivism, sorry, is behaviorism turned on its head, really. The teacher is not the drill sergeant, they're not really in charge as much. The, the student comes to school with their own experiences that they have experienced so far in life. And they come to school with those experiences, and it shapes their worldview. The teacher is a guide. Okay, this is what you have to learn, but you're more in charge than I am. You've got to kind of pick up the slack here. Um, this is more student centered, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. Um, I think all 3 learning theories do have their ups and downs, advantages and disadvantages. In my opinion, we should go behaviorism pre-K to grade 5, so the kids get the basics, they know what they need to do. Grades 6, 7, and 8, middle school, at least in my district. I mean, middle school can mean something different in other districts. Uh, so 6th, 7th, and 8th, I would go cognitivism, just to see where the kids have strengths and weaknesses. And then 9 through 12, I would go constructivism. You know, you guys know the basics, you know more about yourselves, you know what your interests are. We're still here to teach you, we're still in charge, but you need to take a lot of ownership over your education, because these are your last 4 years in school, unless you get held back or fail. then you're going to go into the workforce, and they're going to want you to have soft skills like critical thinking, creative thinking, problem solving, time management. Okay, here you go. We've babied you and guided you through elementary school, and we told you how it was going to be done. Middle school, you kind of got thrown a curveball, things were changed, and now you're in high school, you're young adults. You're going to be driving soon, you're going to be 18, you're going to have all these things you can do, all these decisions to make. So now, constructivism would be a good way to go. I think overall, we have gone from behaviorism to constructivism. I think we've gone way too far, in my opinion. I think COVID ripped the Band-Aid off on that when kids weren't showing up for their online class times or meetings, or they were showing up and they were laying down in bed in their pajamas. I just think the kids are in control way too much, and the teachers and the staff have lost a lot of that power to where, we have a floor grade of 50. You can't give people below a 50 or a 55, or whatever the case may be. And everything is done today to make sure that these kids don't fail. I think we do need to go a little bit more old school, not completely, but I think we do need to bring back some semblance of responsibility and say, this is your schedule, this is where you're supposed to be, these are our expectations for study hall, for class. You need to abide by them. Whether you want to be here or not is irrelevant to me. You're going to have to get a job soon, and you're going to have to stick to those standards that your employers give you. If you go on cash assistance or welfare, I've been on welfare. Okay, there are standards that social services will give you, like having to have X number of job leads per week. Okay, checking into that. Going to a one work source location for classes. Okay, you better be there. So whether your plan is to work or live off the government or whatever your plan may be, there are standards you need to follow. And by laxing our standards in K-12, I think we're really setting up these kids for the thing we don't want to do to them, which is failure. We don't want to fail these kids, but once they're out of our hair, once they graduate or drop out or flunk out or whatever, they're really not our problem anymore. And I think that's a really big issue too, is we need to assume more responsibility. But those are the three main learning theories in education. So if you hear behaviorism, cognitivism, constructivism, those are the quick rundowns of those three theories. And you can, by all means, do more research on your own. I hope this has been helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.